Well, we like to remove it before we cover it up, so that's why we call it graffiti removal and camouflage. We try not to remove it if it's not necessary, but if it's necessary because it's going to add to more graffiti at a site, or it's obscuring the original rock paintings, or if it's causing damage to rock paintings, we want to remove it. And then when we do decide to remove it, we use dry, soft materials first. And then if that's not possible, we go for harder materials. And if that doesn't work properly, we go to solvents. And then with solvents, we use water before we use more reactive stuff, like more, toxic chemicals maybe. So we want to minimize our intrusion here. And we also would like to keep things repeatable. So everything we do here, we kind of do it in such a way that we can come back here, say in 10, 20 years time, and do the same thing, and there won't just be discoloration of the rock. So we use materials that are compatible with the rock and won't leave salt stains or chemical stains afterwards. So the materials then that we used here, in this case, we found that with the spray paint primer, the kind of a commercial enamel that Eddie and Sonia did here, the only really effective way, after trying all sorts of techniques, was compressed air abrasive, so kind of blasting little particles at the rock, removing that pigment, then creating a rough surface that kind of then anchored the pigment that you put in. Because if you put the pigment right on top of the enamel, it doesn't bind properly, and the pigment will come off. So like a dentist giving your teeth a filling, he wants to create an anchor, so he's got to drill and kind of create little points, and this is what we're doing here. We're removing it, but by removing that top layer, some of that is interacted with the natural iron coloring in the rock, and so you get a grayer background, so you kind of expose it in the original rock that then looks lighter. Through time, about 50 years from now, that would probably become orange or red, or a red, yellow red again, like the original rock surface, but we'd like to speed that up and kind of disguise where we remove the graffiti, and that's why we put the pigment on. And that pigment really goes into the rock. It's compatible with the rock because it's similar to the weathering products of the rock anyway. It'll sit better, all other things being equal, than commercial paint that you put back. So this is natural pigment, and it should not, leave any salt stains or anything.